And how our test techniques are going to review to it, and then we're going to go and do some actual case studies that are mechanical. So obviously, that doesn't insult anybody's intelligence. A four-stroke cycle is intake, compression, power, and exhaust. The intake valve is going to be open. The exhaust valve is closed. The piston is moving in a downward direction. What this does is draw the fuel air mass, creates the low pressure inside the cylinder that is going to draw this fuel air mass into the cylinder. If we do not have a pressure gradient between the intake manifold and the cylinder, in other words, if this is atmospheric and this is atmospheric, we are never going to pull the fuel air mix in to be ignited, and the car's not going to start. The cranking vacuum test, whether you use a pressure transducer or a regular old gauge, is a great way to check the engine's ability to generate this pressure. So to do this, I have to buy into a little bit of science. I have to, when we talk about less than atmospheric pressure, I have to know that atmospheric pressure is all around us, pushing down at all times. It is 14.7 psi. Vacuum is often referred to as low pressure. Low pressure, or pressure that is less than atmospheric pressure. All engines have to have this low pressure in the cylinder to be able to draw the fuel air mass in. I was trying to think of an analogy on this, and I was doing an AC charge for my old church lady who lives next door, who's got an old G-van that always seems to lose a little bit of refrigerant over the year. And the summertime comes, and she takes her friends to church, and then they go out to old country buffet or whatever, and have coffee and cake or something. And I was thinking about that when I hook and I charge it up, because she knows I've got a keg of refrigerant, and she's seen me charge my old beater truck. So she always asks me, like, hey, it's really hot out, and you think you could charge this up? So I hook the gauges up, and when I see 40 pounds and 40 pounds on the high and low side, static, right? I know the system on a hot day is low. So I've got 100 pounds in my bottle, right? What happens if I open my bottle up, and I got 40 pounds static and 40 pounds static, I open my low side valve, what happens to the flow of refrigerant? It goes into the system, right? Because I've got a pressure gradient, right? The pressure in the bottle is greater than the pressure in the air conditioning system. So what happens then when I go and I reach 80 pounds and 80 pounds, and I have 80 pounds in the bottle? What happens to the flow of refrigerant? It slows down, it stops, right? It's impossible for me to go and have any pressure, because the pressure gradient, I have equal pressures all around. So this is analogous to me to this ability to generate this low pressure in the cylinders to draw the fuel air mass in. If I have atmospheric pressure here, I have to have less than atmospheric pressure to be able to draw the fuel air mass in. So if I've got atmospheric pressure in the intake manifold and atmospheric pressure here, I'm not going to draw any of the fuel air mass in, right? That's analogous to having the 80 pounds and 80 pounds, right? There's no flow, there's no gradient. So the compression stroke, obviously the purpose of the compression stroke is to compress something. In this case, it's the fuel air mixture. Obviously both valves are closed, the piston's on its upward direction. The spark plug is what's going to take it almost to the point of auto ignition.